Did you find perfect?
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being on. Special welcome to our beautiful diamond upline, Sonya Dudley from Nashville area, Tennessee. Oh my goodness, it was so good to hang out with you in Vegas, Sonya. And we just wanted to do a little bit of a debrief on what we felt, what we saw, what we actually got up to in Vegas at the Velocity Convention. So you get an understanding of what went down and
Yeah,
where we're going, and we're
yeah,
excited. Hey, Sonia.
yeah. Thank you, Brenda. It was so wonderful, like to just like every day be hanging out with you, and at night it was so good to just have you there with me and um be able to. I'm so proud of your team and what you've done in Australia and just the leadership over the last several years. And so it was my pleasure, my honor, my joy to have you with me at my table. So um, you know, I've been to many, many, many conventions. Before Plexus, I was in Mary Kay for 17 years, and I went to all of their conventions. So I'm very familiar with the industry and conventions and speakers. And I tell you, there was something about this convention. And I was not, I mean, there are so many people who've been in Plexus like me, 12 years, 11, 10, 9, 14 years, who are like saying the same thing. Like, the community, the focus on the ambassadors and the love. I mean, when I tell you that I cried every single day 4 or 5 times, I might as well have not worn makeup because I was just like a basket case. It was so just like we are the best company that's so family oriented, that is so like we care about our ambassadors. We listen to you. We want to do what's right. We won't take other leaders from other companies that they want us to buy them. We don't buy people. We don't need to do that. We are the real deal. And so I just felt this sense of such community and where we're going. Um, I mean, when Charles and Alex spoke, and then all of our speakers, it just reiterated like my feeling of like, oh my gosh, this is a new time in our company. When I came into Plexus, there were no diamonds in the company, and there were only 16 emeralds and sapphires in the company. And so I watched our company then hit a momentum mark a few months after we'd gotten in, a big momentum mark, really. And we were some of the first few diamonds, and we had massive momentum for probably 3 years, probably. And then we started peaking, and then we had to learn and grow, and we had to do all that. And I feel like we had another little spike of momentum in 2020. And I feel like now we have the right people in place. The new marketing lady, I believe she's a game changer for our company. Her name is Ashley, and I believe she is going to be the game changer. She said, I wanted this position with this company so bad because I met Alec and Tarl, and I was like their heart, they're like ethical. They didn't even ask me about what I do. They just want to know about me and my family and my, I mean, she was like, I knew I had to have the job. So she said, I will not leave this company. Because I looked at her and I go, I don't want you to ever leave us because I think you're the person. She goes, you could not force me to leave. She goes, they would have to fire me. So I felt really good about everything. Brenda, do you want to add anything about convention? It was
Well, I
just real.
think for me too, it was so significant every day about the community, right? I think through COVID and all those hard years, we kind of lost it a little bit, and everything kind of moved to online, and it was all slick online and that. And but it was so fantastic because of our stories. That's why you cried so
Yeah,
much, Sonia.
yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah,
our stories. It wasn't some external
yeah,
story or anything. It was all about the ambassadors,
Yeah.
And that's what I fell in love with when I first started going to those events. And I think, due to the circumstances of the horrible COVID years and all of that, we were forced online, and it was really hard to break the habit of that. But this convention, I
Yeah.
reckon it got it back, because
Yeah.
that's what I felt like. You could actually palpably feel
Yeah.
the love in the room.
Yeah.
And
That's it.
it was so different to Nashville, even, like,
Oh, yeah.
in its presentation and that, because we got back to just doing what we do best, and that's wrapping our arms around, diamonds, double diamonds. But mainly it was for the new person that had never been to a Plexus event before.
It
They
was,
actually felt that and caught the vision. And that's what really excited me by the conversations I had
yeah.
with people inside the auditorium at the events. It was fantastic, and I'm excited about getting that spirit back, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
it's on. It's on like
Yeah.
Donkey Kong. Like, I
Oh,
reckon the next 12 months are going to be amazing.
when they announced Dallas, I thought, oh my gosh, that's not a quick trip, but it was like from Sydney, Brenda's like, oh my gosh, that's a direct flight from Sydney. And I know that that is a year away, but I'm going to just tell you, I'm going to share a quick, I'm watching my time, 2-minute story. I was 19 years old. I joined Mary Kay. I was in college. I worked that through college. I did really well. And my director called me and said, you need to get on a plane. She called me like in May and said, you're close to winning a diamond ring. And here's what you need to sell between now and the end of June to win your diamond ring. You're going to get to dress up in a ball gown and walk across the stage in front of thousands of people and get applauded. And you're going to be in the Queen's Court of Sales. You need to get on a plane and get here registered. I'm like, I was took me for I'm at that time. Okay, so I joined 19. I was almost 21 when this happened. And I was like, okay. So I tell my mom, I'm going to Dallas by myself, first time on a plane, went to Dallas, caught the vision of these are people standing up here on stage, sharing stories. These are real people with tears telling about their financial situation before this business. And now look at them. And it was all about helping other people overcome what has held them back their entire lives, all their beliefs, all the negativity, all the voices you've heard from childhood. It was about helping people overcome that. And I said right there, I cried the whole time. 21 at this time, I was 20, almost 21, cried. And I said, I'm doing this for the rest of my life. I came home, I quit college my senior year,
Mm.
won my car in 4 months, become a director, and full time 17 years, Mary Kay. Now, I'm here to tell you conventions are where leaders are born. You cannot tell me otherwise. Half the people that stood and told their story, they said, last year I was sitting in the audience and I was only a silver and now I'm a diamond. I'm like, yep. Yep. They're like, it changed for me. It gives you hope, it gives you vision, it gives you massive belief that you cannot get anywhere else. So I'm going to encourage you to think seriously about registering for Dallas because it could truly change not only your family's life, but generations to come, which is what happened to me in Plexus, hitting diamond and and then developing lots more diamonds. I mean, it just has changed our entire future and our kids and their kids. And that's
Yeah,
what you can do.
yeah.
That's what you
And um, Oliver and I were on the same flight coming home. How orchestrated was that? I did not plan that. She did not plan that, but we had plenty of time to brainstorm. So we are going back to what we used to do. We used to get travel cash to actually go to convention, right? So that's coming. So that's another reason. Step out in faith, register, $99, which
can.
includes
Super Saturday.
Saturday, which is great, and just see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can actually, and with that flight just straight from Sydney into Dallas, I reckon, and with airfares coming down a little bit and more people traveling, it is actually a possibility that you can get there, right? So if
Yeah.
you are like the slightest bit, oh, shouldn't, just do it, and then we'll figure it out because there's a lot coming. Now, girls, before we move on, did anyone want to ask Sonya any questions? Because we've only got her for 30 minutes. So anybody want to ask a question or anything? And then I'm going to tell us how we're going to move forward. And I'm excited to share that.
Yeah. Y'all got any questions for me about anything? I'm an open book.
Yeah.
I've been in the industry for 30, oh my God, I'll be 55 this year. So whatever that is, 30.
A
Oh
lot
my,
of
30.
fun. You've seen a lot. Jen, yeah?
I just want to say thank you, Sonya, because it's so wonderful when we get to have you on our calls. And I think it'd be wonderful to see you back in Australia again.
I'd love to do that. We need to plan that. I mean, that's it's a massive trip. It's massive time and money. So that's something that, if we're gonna do that and plan that, it's something we're gonna have to plan out and intentionally, like
Yes,
purposely. I wish the
absolutely.
company would say, I mean, I could always talk to Tarl. I mean, here's what I do believe too, is I do believe we're going to get back to people don't need to forget where we come from. Sometimes when you get so many new people in, they don't know our history. So, I feel like that's another thing I noticed was I feel like there was a lot of that brought up of like where we came from and the beginning. It's like that's good. People need to know their roots, right? They need to
Absolutely.
know their
Mhm.
roots. They do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Um,
it was, and never forget where you come from, because if you don't learn from history, any mistakes that were made will be made again, right? So
yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited about that. So everybody has experienced these showcase plexus events, right? This is our way forward. The feeling and the replication that happened in those two events, one in Perth, one in Brisbane, and then corporate have taken on a hybrid version of it, a little bit almost the same. Joe, you were at that Brisbane event. Massive potential. Like, we had 70 strangers turn up to that event. We missed the mark
Crazy.
on the close and a bit, we've got to tweak a few things, but basically those events are the way that we're going to move the needle massively forward. And Olga will is 100% believe we've got to make a few tweaks on that, and we are going to roll those events out across Australia for the month of August and November. If you are in an area where you would like corporate to come and do one of those events in your area, highly, highly encourage you to put your hand up, because they're going to do all the heavy lifting for you, right? And there's going to be a whole series of flow on from that. We as a team will be doing our own showcase events without corporate in the room. And we know why we do that.
And let me just say to y'all, Brenda, y'all got the most bold, amazing leader. I hope you know that. I mean, she walked up to Charles and Alec, but I was with her, and she can just take them off to the side, talk to them forever, and they're laughing, they're talking, but it gets serious. I'm like, she just asked for what she wants for her team and for the country. And you guys are under the greatest care. I think Brenda definitely is taking everybody back to the roots, to the beginning on how we built, because it's belly to belly, loving on people face to face, telling them the story. And so I am so proud of her for not being scared and to be bold and to stand up for all of y'all, because y'all have it a lot tougher than we have it in the States. And she doesn't portray that. She amazes me, and y'all have a fantastic leader. And I see y'all taking Australia and quadrupling your team over the next 6 months to a year. I mean, the vision, it's there for her, it's there for me. I hope that you can start to feel it, and you're in charge of making that happen. You're in charge. Your mindset, your intentionality every day on looking at someone and saying, I want you to come to this event. You're not going to believe it. You're going to love this community. You're going to love these people. You know. So,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry,
And,
Brenda.
and like we all experienced it at these events, like we're bringing back the fun. Like this is
Yeah.
fun. It should be fun. Like not only are we impacting lives and changing people from the inside out in so many ways, not only gut health, but in belief and positivity, and people want to belong to something. And we've got it all going on. And like, I said to Tal at the time, I said, you know, you're on a winner, Tal, when the women in the room, the vibe is up here. You know, they're all chatting and loving and like loving everything about this event. That's you can't replicate that, and we've got it in this format, and that's what I'm really excited about. And the fact that Olga is going to run with this based on what we're doing, and the amount of jewels and diamonds that want me on their team calls over there, they want to run with it as well because it's so different and so new, and it is a winner. And I encourage everybody to get on board with this and be brave. Put your hand up and say, I'm in, because you know the work's already been done, and the fruit of that flowing on to us will be incredible. Because if that's one thing I've learned, people are craving community again and wanting to belong to something bigger than themselves. Now, I think that's what we're really good at those events. Jen, would you agree?
Yes, I mean, you've just, the ones we've done, people just don't want to leave. So yeah, it does work. And I think too, it doesn't matter if it starts off small, but it can grow, because it's building the belief in the people that are there, that, you know, I mean, we had a little one the other day in Brisbane again. There wasn't a lot of people, but boy, did we have a wonderful time. And we got to know each other a little bit better. And
Amen.
it was so worth it, just to do something, and, you know, just sit around, chat, talk, tell stories. It's a lovely feeling. It makes you feel really good when you leave something like that. You know that you're on the right path.
Yeah. Oh, I love
Guy,
that.
would you like to add something that you were at both? You were at the Brisbane one for the team, and you were at the one that corporate did.
Yeah, I love the new format. I think it's great. I think it's the opportunity for one-on-one conversations with people, which makes them a lot more comfortable as well, because they can talk more openly about certain things that they may not want to express in a group environment. So yeah, I think the new format is awesome. Yeah.
Interaction is always the best way forward for people to have a good time. Al, can you talk, or you just listening in? Just listening in. You know, like the potential of this is massive, because of those 70 that turned up in Brisbane, they came from an ad. Strangers. So Olga and her team have actually cracked the code, and the ad didn't cost that much to do. So that's why they want to roll this out across Australia. And there will be any ambassador who works at one of those events, or who's manning one of the tables and sharing, you know, helping people find the clues on their passport, which is fun. Anyone that orders on the night, because that's what we're working towards, to be able to sell the products at events. Tal's promised me he's going to work on that for me. I said, Tal, we need this to grow. So it's going to be great. Those leads will be distributed evenly to all the ambassadors who are actually at the event. So another reason for you to put your hand up, right? Your guess would be your guess for sure. But if there's any people that come off an advertisement that corporate do, they'll be distributed evenly between all ambassadors who are actually on the tables, you know, at the door, emceeing, doing, you know, the spinning wheel, doing whatever. As long as you're there in the event, those leads will be distributed. Oh, okay, yep, okay. Go for it.
Go for it, Alison.
Sorry. What I was going to say, the best thing about being hands-on again and back in the events is the fact that people get so much out of the when we were running those stories, we'd have someone those events, someone would jump up and tell their story, and then the chat and the conversation and the compassion and the people recognizing in other people's, because we had a variety of different people speaking with that had different illnesses and whatnot, the being able to recognize themselves in that person and bringing it back to that personal level, and then being able to chat to that very person rather than just seeing them online and it's a little chat group and you don't want to be personal and ask personal questions, to have them in the room and to be able to quietly go across to them and say, look, can we just go over here and have a quick chat? I want to ask you, can you tell me what happened with this? What were you taking? How did you do it? Where were you at? Just to have that personal interaction with the person that's expressing their story and brave enough to get up there and share, A, encourages other people to do it and to open up and start talking. But B, gives them that one-to-one opportunity to say, look, you know, when you get a minute, can I please have a chat with you? That personal side of it is the whole game.
Well, it's always been our stories, right? And the fact that we can do that in our own showcase Plexus events, but the corporate ones will be a little bit different as well. And Olga and I were fleshing that out. You know, we can still share active testimonials in those corporate ones and Joy Own, because those two products are not registered and don't fall under the TGA guidelines. So I'm excited about that because we've got some really great stories around collagen even, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Chris Patterson shared her story at our last event about coming out of chemo, and her fingers were all like, she couldn't heal her fingers. She went through, and the skin, it was so painful and everything. And she went through lots of different ways to try and heal the fingers from the chemo. And collagen did it in 2 weeks. And she shared that testimonial. So she can actually share that at a public one, right? Because collagen isn't registered. That was a really powerful testimonial. So we need to hone in on that. And we also need to hone in on our customers who aren't brand ambassadors, who can share their stories even at the corporate events, because they're allowed, right? Because they're not a brand ambassador. They might be after the event, but anyway, while we're at the event, no, which is fantastic. So we need to dig deep. We need to be smart. We need to know what we can and can't do at these events, because they are actually a winner, right? And I'm excited about where we're going to roll them out to. So what I'm suggesting is, you know, have a look at where and who in your teams is in certain areas where corporate might go to, and help them do all the heavy lifting on the ground there, because they're willing to go anywhere. So I'm excited about where we're going. Yes.
And give them that vision when you're talking to someone in your town that's on your team that's maybe not working, but they order the product every month. Don't be afraid to say, you know, Susie, I know, you know, you're loving the products, you order them every month. You know, I know you're not really like sharing and building a business, but listen, we're going to be doing this event and we need you there because you love the product so much. We need you to share your story, and your story can actually help build our company in Australia. Just your amazing story and passion about the products. And, you know, don't be afraid to say to someone, you know, I know you're a customer and I appreciate you and your loyalty. You've been using the products with me now for a year. But here's what I'm going to propose to you. We're just now really starting to grow this company in Australia. And we're looking for people that not really necessarily are looking to grow a big 6-figure business, maybe, but we're looking for people who are like, I'm willing to, while I'm at work, share my link to a friend and say, you ought to check out these products I'm using. They've really made a difference in my energy and my weight. And people who are willing to share that link, maybe spend 20 or 30 minutes a day on their breaks, just sharing a link. We're looking for people to help us grow.
Mm.
Is that something you would ever consider?
Mm.
And so don't be afraid to use that lingo to
Mm.
people.
Mm.
A great way to build your business.
Yeah. So we've got a lot to be excited about. I feel like we're just gonna take off again, and I'm excited about that. And I appreciate everybody jumping on and everybody who's watching this recording, and especially love you and appreciate you, Sonya. Thank you for taking such good care of me in Vegas. I love sitting on the Star Diamond table up the front, and I'm sure if any of you come to Dallas next year, you'll be getting a special invite up onto that table as well from Sonya on certain times and days. That was really good how you rotated all the team through.
Yeah.
And it was just a very special experience. And as I said, dream big, because I think the next 12 months, given we have a plan to grow, is going to be extremely exciting. And I hope you're coming along for the ride, because it's going to be really good. We love these products. We love flexes. It's time. It's time to be excited, and let's get going. So thank you very much, everybody,
Do
for
it.
being on.
Great to see you all.
I'm going to stop the recording, and